Hello, and welcome back to the marketing podcast for local businesses, the place where small business owners turn dreams into reality through smart marketing. My name is Adam. I run Website Designers.London. We are a website designer who are ranked in the top 1% in the UK and London, where we help businesses generate tens of millions of pounds.
And my name's Josh. I'm the founder of ImproveMySearchRanking.com, a specialist SEO agency based in South London. We've helped more than 400 businesses generate over £200 million in sales. Today is part 3 in our series of what to expect when hiring a web design agency. We've already covered a lot of areas in the previous episodes, including the initial consultation process, the defining of the scope of a project, understanding the pricing and budgets, timeline and project management, design processes and user experience, and also content creation. Today, we're going to touch on a few more areas, and that's going to include web development and technical areas, the integration of digital marketing, testing and quality assurance, and a variety of other topics too. So without further ado, let's start on the web development and technical aspects.
Sure. So look, that title is a bit misleading in that what we mean by the technical aspects and web development is so you can have you can use various tools to develop a website, right? You can use what they call different CMSs. CMS, Content Management Service. Basically, they have different platforms which facilitate web developers to design websites. And the majority of the ones that I'd say a professional web developer would typically use, the one that's more widely known and the one that we use is WordPress. There is also those who want to sell online, e-commerce websites. Shopify is also great. And there are so many more out there, which I won't bore you with. But I guess as if you're a business that wants a website, what's key is some clients want the ability to edit their websites thereafter. Using software or a CMS like WordPress or Shopify, it's actually easy to use to the extent of editing minor things, right? I mean, if they wanted to edit the HTML code underneath the WordPress website, I'd say good luck, and I wouldn't suggest it. But let's say the client wanted to log in and look at how many people have contacted them, the contact person's name, email address, the leads they've got. We typically create a dashboard when people log in, so they'll be able to see the number of people that have visited their website. Things like that, or I don't know. So we've got a client who, they're a nursery in Southeast London, and they have some job vacancies, and they want to see who's applied. They get an email, obviously, when people apply, but they may want to view it in one place, so they can log into their WordPress dashboard and view everything. So I would say, for as a business, it's important that you understand the ability, no matter what CMS you use, content management system you use. I said software before, didn't I? Anyway, whatever CMS they use, if you want to be able to edit, make minor changes, understand which platform it is, to understand the user friendliness of it, and also if they use some unknown crazy CMS, you're gonna be kind of held hostage to that web developer, right?
That's what I was gonna say. Is a potential red flag with a lot of web developers that I've experienced over the years with SEO clients we've worked with, is that they've built their website in a really crazy CMS, and it's so difficult to change, or they kind of just made it impossible. So they have to go back to that web designer to make even the minor change to a word or an image, and they feel kind of trapped, and they're locked into that agency. So yeah, making sure you have the right CMS is super important.
It's so ironic because Josh and I were talking about a particular client. Obviously, we won't name any names, but it was obviously not the client's fault at all, right? But I mean, they should have just listened to this podcast, I guess. But they they've got a website which now, looking at the back end, it's like a maze trying to figure out how to change a simple bloody thing, and it's frustrating because it's like, I've been in situations where often we've had to redesign the whole bloody website because it had been designed in just a crazy way, which wasn't SEO friendly, which was super difficult to edit, and it was more time consuming, therefore costly, to make these changes than it was to rebuild it, which is crazy. So WordPress and Shopify, I'd say my top two favorites and the ones I'd recommend. Have you heard of any other CMS platforms? Would you recommend any other CMS platforms, Josh?
There are loads out there, as you said. There's Wix. There's what's the newest one? Webflow. A lot of people are talking about Webflow nowadays. Some are okay. I would recommend the same as you. WordPress is definitely the best, the easiest to use, has the most third-party supported plugins and support. And yeah, I would recommend WordPress if it's a service-based business, and even a e-commerce. You can use WooCommerce plugin to make it an e-commerce site. Shopify is also really, really good, but that's only for e-commerce.
Agreed. And ultimately, WordPress is used by 43% of the top 10 million websites. Wow. So it's a kind of trusted source, and Shopify as well. It's huge, and it's become absolutely huge as well. So highly recommend those two platforms. As soon as you said Wix, though, I did slightly cross my legs and want to die a little bit. So
it's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, Wix is, again, please don't sue me, Wix. I'm not a fan. That's my opinion, right? I'm not a fan. Only because it's extremely restrictive, in my view, and it's the ability to edit, the ability to customize, the ability to integrate SEO, the ability to the add-ons that they charge if you want to do various things. It's just not my sort of thing. I don't knock it completely, but I wouldn't use it. And look, Shopify, you host 4.6 million stores across 175 countries. They're huge, and they've, so there we go. And it's also key, using the right CMS, because of it does affect security, it does affect the speed, it does affect the kind of SEO as well. It could do so. For sure, it's worth considering.
Okay, awesome. So moving on to the integration of other digital marketing services, how does that work with a web design build? I mean, is the website its own entity on its own, and then you kind of add on these other types of marketing services like ads and SEO, or is it kind of integrated anyway?
Great question, and I know you know the answer already, but it's so think about it like this: your website is one function of your online marketing toolkit, right? We say this often, and we kind of Josh and I, we say this often. It's like having a shop front but no footfall, right? So without digital marketing, and another thing, some clients, when we design their website, they and they haven't taken, bear in mind, they don't want any additional SEO or any ads or any online marketing or any marketing. We develop their website, and then they go, what's happening? I've got no sales. And it's like, okay, well, what are you doing to market your website? Nothing. Well, how can you expect people to come to your website? It's like building a shop in the Antarctica, as in a physical shop in the Antarctica selling cakes, but there's literally like 5 people there, right? Were you going to say something, Josh?
I was just using a very similar analogy of saying it's a bit like the comparison of having a shop in the middle of the desert versus having a shop on Oxford Street.
Yeah, exactly. So look, a website is super important, right? But you need to ensure that you have some marketing going for you as well. And to answer your question directly in the integration, so they should be very much interlinked. So if you think about it, Instagram, there is a function where you can put the URL, so the website link, your website's link, onto your Instagram page. So you've got your Instagram, people might scroll on it and be like, oh, that product looks great, or that cake looks great. I might want to get some more information about that. Well, if you haven't got a telephone number on the page, if you don't have an address on the page, or if you don't accept people visiting your shop because it's not a shop, it's maybe something you do at home, but you've got a website. Okay, perfect. Click on a website. Oh, great. I can order from the website. Perfect. More information on the website. So it allows people. So that's an example of social media linking in with your website. If we think about SEO, how does your website impact SEO? Well, if you're a web developer and your web developer hasn't really made it SEO friendly and they just dumped a load of stuff on there just to get you online, then Josh and I are going to come around and start absolutely ripping into that website and be like, oh dear, So it does, make sure a web developer designs it in an SEO friendly way, but do not expect the developer to do your SEO if you're not paying for SEO, as in, and SEO isn't a one-time thing, right? You need to do it, Josh's entire business is all about SEO. If it was a one-time thing, then I don't think he'd be as successful as you are, right? Let's be honest. So make sure it's well worth considering. And the importance of integrating SEO and the best practices from the start, again, very, very key. When they develop and upload images, make sure you have the meta description on there, and you have your meta tags, and you're using keywords, and you've got your SSL certificate. All these things I might be saying, and you might be thinking, what on earth is he on about? We have, please do listen to our other podcast or get in touch and we can help you. And ask the agency, if you've gone to an agency, a full service agency like WDL, ask if they have any other marketing services. We do PPC, so pay per click, social media ads, Google ads, SEO, Google, graphic design. We even can give you some business advice as well as to your marketing plan.
Yeah, so the website is the center point for your business's online presence, and all your other marketing is going to direct people to that website. So first and foremost, it's super important to make sure your website is incredibly designed and it's got the SEO best practices, conversion rate best practices in mind. So yes, that's all cool.
Perfect.
Okay, so we spoke about the integration of marketing there, the technical aspects of the web development, different CMSs, and a variety of other topics. I think we're now reaching the end of this episode, so we'll cut it here, and we'll see you in episode number 4.
Amazing. Well, thank you for listening, guys.